You can't eat your tuna melt.
I am.
We can all smell that he's eating tuna melt.
Good job, I don't mind the smell of it. Sam was, he'd be heaving.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling. You're being captured in
Right,
4K.
shall I do the intro?
When I hear this, then.
Oh.
You know I've got to edit this, so I've got to listen to it with my headphones on.
Raw footage, have that. Raw.
Welcome back to the Prospect Academy podcast, guys. This is episode number 2 with Brad One Punch Pickett, and we have today James Bradbury-Hulls. Is that how I say it? Who is our cameraman here at GB Top Team. So you'll see a lot of the photos that the guys upload on their social media. That's all down to James. This is James's podcast equipment. You'll also see James doing a lot of videography work for the Prospect Academy. So yeah, welcome. Thank you for coming on, James.
Thanks for having me.
Right, guys. So today we're going to start something a little bit different. Usually we finish the podcast with questions, but today I've got a lot of questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to start and open up with a few, and then we will finish with a few. And the first question, I want to see what James would have for the game plan for me and Brad to beat Francis Ngannou. We fight together in the cage against Ngannou. 2v1. What's the game plan, James?
Well, I think Brad's good at distraction. So I think Brad would talk to him about something. He's very good at kind of pulling somebody into a conversation, and I think you hit him with your Jeep. I think that's probably the best game plan.
But
Not allowed the Jeep though, that's the only thing. It's hand-on-hand
also,
combat.
I can't chat to him. We're in a fight.
You know, like you see those Russian promotions where they have like 2 crackheads versus a massive big lady.
Are you guys the crackheads?
Nope.
Okay.
We are the dwarfs versus the giant. 2 Davids.
Easy.
Well, there's
Let's
two.
go.
Is it my question?
Fine.
Okay. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either kind of join forces and one jump on the other one's shoulder, and then
I was just about to say that. Good idea.
whoever hits harder, I think, is probably got a better.
To be honest, let's not beat around the bush. We need to get the guy down. I'm not understanding.
Hence why I said the Jeep. I mean, that was the best way.
What are you about?
How do we get him down?
Everyone I've ever fought.
How about a double leg, but each of you take a single?
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah. So a blast double, but each of you just picks a leg. 'Cause
Blast single him at the same time with both legs.
let's not be funny. Ngannou's leg is probably about the size of you guys.
Do
Not
we
gonna
circle? Do we both come together? Does one of us do I hide
Also,
behind Brad like this
also,
and then push Brad into him? And
Are
then,
we doing legal moves or illegal moves? Illegal, I'm just going to sock him right in the nuts.
yeah,
don't
well,
know,
let's just say
I'll do it.
legal. It has to be MMA legal.
I think his dick could probably check a kick. I'm not gonna lie.
I just want him sticking his third hook in.
Because I do like the idea of
Oil check.
using Brad as a ram, you know.
Yeah.
Behind Brad, and he could push Brad, and as he gets him, I just jump up. You know, like, have you seen Troy when he has the big giant at the beginning?
Oh yeah, no, all about where on was it 300?
300 when he steps over the guy.
He climbs up
Kind of,
somewhere
yeah.
and
Maybe I could do the elbow. Well, if you want to see me and Brad versus Francis Ngannou, make sure to
I'd
pay.
like to see that. I'm not gonna lie.
We'd tune in, right?
I'd pay.
So now I'll go into a little bit more of a serious question.
that was serious.
All right. Yeah, all right. So, no, we'll go serious because I don't think I want to fight Francis Ngannou. We'll ask Brad this one, but what was the hardest part about fighting that is often overlooked?
For me or in general? Well, for me,
For you.
for me, I used to travel a lot to compete. You know, I used to train at American Top Team. So it wasn't trouble for me because I did make it be trouble for me. Is traveling away from my kids. So obviously, I didn't have kids until a later age of my career. Reason being because I knew I travelled a lot and I didn't want to spend time away from my kids. But I had Buddy towards the end of my career, his first 2 years kind of thing, and I was still fighting then. So travelling away from them was hard. You know, I didn't like that. I knew it'd be hard. That's why I knew it would be hard. That's why I left the kids to a later age of my career. So for me, that was one of the hardest things. That sort of sacrifice from my family.
Yeah. And James, obviously, for those that don't know, James's son, who's Josh, 16?
Yeah, 16.
16. Doesn't look it.
Nope.
Looks like he had a tough paper round when he was a kid.
Yeah.
He looks like a fully grown man.
Yeah.
What is the toughest thing about being a dad and having your boy step into a cage against a fully grown man?
That's a good question.
You find it hard?
I do and I don't. Like, his first fight, he fought a guy that was 10 years older than him. It was K1 fight. He was a champion. I was very emotional because I was emotional when he had his first interclub. Like, I bawled like an absolute girl when that happened, just because of the emotion. Because watching him, getting him into it, we got him into martial arts because he was bullied. So he got into it. He got physically assaulted, and the next day I was like, right, you're going to jiu-jitsu. He goes, no, I don't want to do it. I want to play Minecraft, like general sort of stuff.
How old was he?
He was 12.
And
So he was 12.
He was quite overweight. At the
120
time.
kilos. So he was,
Wow.
so he was a big lad. And I was 260 at my heaviest. So I saw like history repeating himself.
You said a planet with arms and legs.
Yeah, planet with arms and legs, yeah. So I saw history repeating itself, so it scared the shit out of me, to be honest with you. So got him into jiu-jitsu. He then really got into it, but then it was when he started Muay Thai that it was kind of like, I went, oh, hello. Like, there was just something about the way he picked up combinations and was able to throw, because you know what people are like when they learn something, it's usually like everything just falls out the window.
Some some people do naturally just like, oh, they get it.
Yeah.
But some people don't.
But yeah, so when he had his first interclub and then when he had his first proper K1 fight and almost knocked the guy out in the second round, like the guy had to spit his mouth guard out to stay in the fight, which was a veteran move and I respected, but I was just like, wow, okay. But the hardest for me is just seeing the sacrifices, you have to allow him to make his own mistakes. Even though he's young, and don't get me wrong, I'm still his parent, like, you learn usually by your mistakes. Like, so him always having me there to be like, no, it's all right, son. Me always...
We'll come to that in a minute.
Yeah, me always being there, but like, oh, let me sort this out for you, let me sort that out for you. I think it's redundant. Like, I'm not always going to be here. Yes, I work in the gym that my son's a part of, but actually me getting involved is actually counterproductive because I'm not going to be around. Like, but
I guess it's nice that you're here and you can. So, for example, you get to see the coaching, right? So you have 100%. That trust. Where I guess if you wasn't in the gym and you were just like, right, Josh is going off to this gym, I don't know what's going on. You know, you're there. You can see what's going on. You can see what the coaching are doing and.
Well, I mean, just to quickly how we got here in the first place. Like, we were at another gym. Joshua was 13, 14, just turned 14, and was having to spar mid-20s guys who didn't have the mental capacity to not try and take his head off. Yeah,
control kind of thing.
He was like really having to fight for his life every week, and he was able to do it. Like, he was really able to handle himself, and that was kind of when I went, do you know what? This is not the right place for you. You need to be somewhere where you've got like young, hungry killers that are going to really push you. Yeah. And then I'd met Brad randomly on the tube like a couple of years before. It was actually Bonnie I met before you. There was just a dog with a biscuit on its nose, and I just went, "Who the fuck owns that dog?" And I went, "Oh, it's Brad." I was like, obviously I've been a fan of combat sports for 20 plus years. So then. I knew that this place was in the middle of being like kind of finished off. So I went to him and was like, look, we're going to come here. And he was like, oh no, Dad, like, he's like proper honourable. He has like the proper honour of martial arts. So he's like, oh no, Dad, I don't want to like.
Where was he training before?
He was at Fight City in Bala.
Okay.
So like Leon and all that lot.
Was he getting trained by Mike as well?
A little bit. He was doing mostly Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. So they've got... there's a couple of guys, Tommy Yip, I don't know if you know, he's come and trained here a few times, jiu-jitsu guy, very tricky, very, very high level guy. But yeah, when you had the open day, I was like, right, you're going to come here and have a look. He was like, oh, Dad, I can't do it.
How'd the open day go for him?
We'll get to that. So he was, I'll get to that. Okay. Well, I knew the moment he got here, he changed his mind in 5 minutes. He was like, Dad, we got to come here. Like, absolutely. Walked through the door, saw everyone. I think it was Nikita Bagley was here. Was one of the first coaches he kind of worked with a little bit. Did fantastic, and it was actually my fault that he got. So basically, Joshua got hurt, almost broke his foot. So he came and did 2 sessions. I think it was the wrestling session and the...
Wait, on an open day?
On an open
Open
day.
day. Okay.
So it was he did the
MMA,
wrestling and the MMA, and then there was a boxing session at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I went, oh, stay, do the boxing session. And he was like, no, I'm a bit tired. I went, no, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. 5 minutes into it, he rolls his ankle badly,
How?
Just
Boxing?
footwork.
Barry
Right.
shows are really bad.
But yeah, so we got a membership that day, but he didn't come train for like a couple of months because he just couldn't. His ankle was
bloody
absolutely
hell.
battered. But yeah, getting back to it, like I came to work here purely to come and watch him train. That was the
Yeah.
whole reason why I showed up. Like I wanted to come here. And then when I got into it and then started, obviously, I've been taking pictures for years, then got into actually doing it for the guys. I think he struggles with me being here far more than I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because like having your dad around, like always
yeah.
with a camera
Yeah,
pointed at you, and also I'm one of my proudest things is to gain everyone's trust, to be trusted, to be able to capture moments.
Yeah.
Like one of the hardest things I've done in this gym was actually with you when you injured your leg, because I was filming at the time, and the journalist kind of in me should have been like, perfect, let me go and film that. But the friend and the person in me was like, nah, I don't want to capture that. And I put my camera down straight away. So it really, that kind of stuff affects me. But my son, I watched him pass out just after weighing in. He did a weight cut.
Yeah.
And then he passed out. I literally watched him just went like that. I carried on filming. Everyone was like, your son. I just basically went like in the gym.
Josh wakes up and his dad's like that with the camera. Like,
In the gym, I'm not his dad. Like I'm the social media slash digital marketing, whatever you want to call me. But like I don't even think about it. Like I'm just going, oh, he's gonna go. I knew he was gonna go.
It's nice to have that bond though, right?
Yeah.
Because like me and my dad obviously are very close, and that's through training. You know, a lot of my
Yeah.
friends, they don't have. I wouldn't say they have a problem with their dad, but they don't see their dads much. You know, they don't.
True.
Me and my dad are pretty much with each other every day. We train. You know, we would argue a lot when I was younger because obviously I was just a dick sometimes, and you know maybe I was just, I don't know, being a prima donna, and then, you know, we go home, we argue, and sometimes it was a bit of a pain in that sense. But now, you know, I don't live at home anymore. I feel like, you know, it's a great way of spending time.
Yeah,
with
I
your
mean,
dad.
I almost look forward to that when he moves out, to be honest with you, because I think there is that
It's
kind
not hard
of.
because you're gonna break it. It's gonna be hard for him as well, where
100%.
you're here and then you're here and
Yeah.
you're always around.
I mean, yeah, it drives me loopy the fact that I'm like, where
Do
are
your
you?
other, because you got 3 boys,
I got 3 children. Yeah,
Do
he's
you-
the middle.
do your other boys get jealous?
Yes, 'Cause
Like dad's with Josh all the time.
What's the ages of them?
so his older brother is about to turn 18, so there's 14 months between him and his brother Jake, and then there's
Is he trying to or no interest?
no. My oldest son will either be an international hacker or some sort of evil genius. He might actually build a Death
So
Star. You
he's
never
the
know.
brains.
Oh,
And Josh is the brute.
Josh is definitely the brute. He's got his moments as well, but yeah, he can be dumb as a rock sometimes. But you know, fighter mentality is what it is. But his younger brother, he's 13, and I think Travis is very similar to Joshua. So
Yeah.
I think he will get into it.
How old is he? Sorry?
He's 13.
Okay.
But he tried jiu-jitsu for a little while, but didn't like the closeness. He
Yeah.
freaked him out like completely.
I get that.
I get it.
Some will struggle. with
Yeah,
that.
but
At that age as well.
I also see him like when he loses his temper, and I'm like, ooh, you would actually be quite tasty. Like,
So you could have the next Nick and Nate Diaz.
pretty much.
How about them as siblings? Do they get on well?
They do and they don't. Like, Joshua loved being like the prankster with him and being like, not bullying him, but being the older brother. Like, you know, it's like you'd be ribbed and all this, that, and the other. But now Travis has come into secondary school and come into his own a little bit, so now he gives it back. And Joshua's like, hang on a minute, you can't talk to me like that. And I'm like, listen, mate, it all's fair in love and war, literally. But yeah, no, Joshua's a really good brother. He's had to grow up with me not being the wellest parent in the world. I mean, I almost died a couple of times, and his mom's still battling at the moment. So like, he's I could die tomorrow and still be the proudest I think I'll ever be of him. Because he's 16 and very few people see him as a 16-year-old. He conducts himself very much on an adult level, but he's still a fucking moron, you know.
Still a baby, mate.
Yeah, exactly. This is it, and I have to remind myself of it because like I treat him with a brush that he's far older than he actually is, but it's just because of how much he's had to deal with growing up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah,
Right, we'll quickly talk about. It went off when we was talking. Me and Brad are gonna compare sizes.
hang on, am I a judge in this?
I think mine's bigger, but we are gonna judge our weapons, guys, which is our lightsabers. Nah, I don't want to touch that. So, I don't know if you guys are into Star Wars. I've got to say, I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, but I met these guys.
That's criminal.
I've met these guys at a convention when I went with my friend Jordan, Padawan Outpost, and we got mutual friends, and they came down and they said like,
your friend?
a guy called Cal, who made your lightsaber. So it's like a family-run business. They now sponsor me. You know, they're big fans of MMA. They came down and they made my own personal Star Wars. This is it Jedi Windu? Master
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu, right? BMF. You know what that stands for? Baddest motherfucker. Now look at this.
Power on.
Look at that.
I think you were kind of good. Oh yeah, that's what you mean.
You can change colour. You can change the noise. You can. So turn yours on, Brad.
Turn yours off. So obviously, there you go.
Who's
Darth
bigger?
Vader.
Wait, who's bigger? Wait. Put yours next to mine. It looks like.
It's not the size, mate. It's
Broken ignition.
Look at that. So, as you can see, guys, Brad's obviously having more fun.
because I have more fun.
Hang on, were you a fan of the dark side more in the films, or were you more?
It's weird going on to Star Wars, which obviously if anyone knows me knows I love Star Wars, especially like Star Wars Lego. I think Star Wars is probably one of the, or if not the only program where you actually think, fuck me, the bad guys are so cool.
Yeah, true.
I mean, there's no other.
Darth Maul was the coolest for me.
Yeah, but it's like just even the iconic the stormtroopers. Like I remember, obviously you always make fun of me. When I went like the power of stormtroopers, and I went on a stag do. My first one. This is what got my idea. I went on a stag do, and me and a friend of mine just went. Oh, we're gonna go. And we get 2 stormtrooper outfits, and we go there. And we went to Brighton and the amount of attention just me and him got was unbelievable. And people just wanted photos of me and him, just wearing these 2.
You never told me that. Sorry.
No, that part I haven't been doing. I told you. So this is where I first done it. So and then I thought, obviously, for my stag do, I'll go as Darth Vader, and all my rest of them. So it's me, Darth Vader, and 30 stormtroopers.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know you know. You know that story?
No, I didn't.
You've told me
So
many a times. Get a picture up. Come on, for the
So
camera.
obviously, I went.
But guys, if you're looking for lightsabers, you know, the perfect toy you can buy for anyone really,
You
even
see
an
here,
adult. Padawan
I was
Outpost.
Darth Vader and all my crew of stormtroopers.
Wow.
Let me get up.
I didn't know Darth was. Should have got a forced perspective shot. Do you know I could just superimpose it over the thing?
Let's hope no one listens to this when they're driving the car. They had an accident. Why, Brad? I looked at my phone when Brad was showing pictures
Anyway,
of
yeah,
that.
so to me, going back to what we were saying, I just think it's one of the coolest things, and like, there's no other baddies really have ever like outshone the good guys. You know?
Law-abiding citizen. You've seen that? Come on.
No, but it's
You're like, is he a baddie or is he a goodie?
No, that's a different thing. You know, what I mean, like, we're talking about, you know, like character design of like
Thanos.
no, but
Come
still,
on.
but people.
No,
wanna be-
Thanos doesn't get the same sort of
No, he doesn't.
devotion with it.
He's so sick.
But even
doesn't he?
with every bad guy they bring, even like Kylo Ren, Darth Maul, no one's
Yeah,
Darth
all right,
Vader,
all right.
the whole-
Do you know
all
what?
the-
I actually
so
had,
cool.
when I went to Mauritius with Lauren, I watched all the Star Wars, the old ones.
Okay.
But I watched it in order, which was, I think, The Phantom Menace
Yeah.
with Jar Jar Blinks
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that.
Jar
So
Jar
they were like
Binks.
the middle ones. so Darth Maul.
Yeah.
And then I watched the oldest ones, and man, they were so bad.
They're the middle ones.
I bet, obviously, back in the day, they were amazing, but when you look at the effects, it is just horrendous.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, obviously,
but-
me growing up, they were good enough
Yeah.
for me, 100%.
That's the reason why Lucas didn't make 1, 2, and 3 when he did, because he said that the special effects technology wasn't there. That's why he did it in the order that he did it.
Okay. Is
So
that
that's why
actually
it was-
why? Because I did always wonder, why are they going back
That's
to
why they did
chronology?
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and then obviously
Gotcha.
the stuff we don't talk about because they went
Yeah.
they went a bit left field after that.
Yeah, I don't think they're too bad, those ones. Not too bad.
Well, as
The
soon
main-
as-
I liked the Phantom Menace. They were my favourites.
also, Solo, I like the Solo one, and then,
Rogue One was a really good one.
Rogue
I
One
was a big
was
fan
good.
of that.
And also now, obviously, the other thing, they have like Mandalorian. I think it's sick.
So you're a big Star Wars fan, right?
Yeah.
When I went to see whatever one it was with him at the cinema, I fell asleep.
That's kids for you.
Yeah, that's true. There isn't. I
That's
can.
kids. When I go into something,
I was like, Brad, look, you enjoying this? He's like, oh.
in a dark room.
Yeah. Ask my family.
I'm
You
falling
do
asleep.
fall asleep.
I cannot remember the last film I went to see at the cinema where I didn't fall asleep. Like it doesn't matter what film
But
it is.
if I get a chance to sit down still for like over an hour,
Yeah.
I fall asleep.
On it, I
And
get
it's
jealous when we
dark.
go on an airplane to a fight, whatever. You know, I look over and Brad's fast asleep. And not even the plane hasn't even gone up yet,
wow.
and I'm so jealous. I'm like, mate, I pay for business class sometimes just so I can get a good night's sleep because I can't sleep if I'm sitting like this.
Oh, yeah,
And Brad
yeah.
will literally just lay there.
But on two things as well. So for me, one, obviously just being able to any time to sit down and be able to fall asleep, I would take that opportunity. But then also for me, when I remember quite clear when I was a kid, my mum, to make me go to sleep, used to push me around in a pram or drive me in the car.
Yeah.
Motion makes like
Yeah.
Yeah, but the plane's not even moving in your sleep.
Yeah, that's because I'm just really tired. or to be fair, I'm just listening to your conversation.
Wow.
Pretty damn rude that was.
Fan
So
of the,
yeah,
fan
guys,
of the podcast then.
lightsabers, Padawan Outpost. I do actually want to get Dave, who owns the Padawan Outpost, and his wife Jazz. I want to get them on the podcast because they've got a really, really interesting story of how they've become with this, and it's very successful.
Well, company's
so-
cool because they've. The thing I like about them, because I've got one myself, and I always used to see them at Comic-Con.
Yeah,
They were there last.
Mate, they kill it at Comic Con.
Well, the reason why is because
Everyone's
they're
at that
like
store.
most kind of like replica lightsabers. Like you can't bash them about, especially ones that
saw
that
me and him just go at it,
exactly.
yeah.
Most of them, like you hit them once and they suddenly go, "Oh, it doesn't light up
It
anymore."
actually broke my heart. I went to a Comic Con, and this is after they sponsored me, so I've gone to see them. And there's another stall, like literally, the place put like the two lightsaber stalls next to each
Yeah.
other. No one was at that stall. And I went over and I did see, and I thought, these don't look nowhere near as good, and they're still just as expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And it broke my heart a little bit because I was like, oh, that poor guy, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you can't keep
Innovation's
up with it,
innovation at the
yeah.
end of the day.
But mate, they're killing it. And even the other day, they made a blaster, not Han Solo's, it was another character.
Okay.
But I put it on my Instagram, and it's unreal. You know how they're making these things is pretty cool. Whilst we're plugging, Venom. Are you sponsored by?
Looking at me for
Are you sponsored by Venom by any chance?
Bye. No, yeah. So it's not my first time actually. Well, obviously when I competed as an athlete before the bought in Reebok, some people probably wouldn't even know about this because they're new fans. But back in the day, you used to you have your own kit, your own sponsors and stuff like that. And back, I used to be sponsored by Venom. I love their gear.
Oh, of course you was. I didn't actually.
Yeah.
So is that this? Have you dealt with the same guys now, or is it
This
different?
is one thing also I try to help you out with, where I was when I was a fighter, I had a manager and he sorted out my sponsors, and I kind of you deal with it. I just let him deal with it, and that's it. I just fight. Yeah, one where I said to you as well, I wish I had a better relationship with my sponsors. Like you have a fantastic relationship. You took my advice very well, but like because now you're not just a number and like a digit. You're a person, and that's why I think it's very good to have these relationships with your sponsors because they don't. Yeah, and that's what happened back in the day. I when Reebok came in, I didn't know anyone who dealt with Venom, but now they're back with me and sponsored me as a coach.
Gonna kick the gym out.
And now, the separate. I was sponsored as a coach, which I just need to plug the gear. It is fantastic.
Mate, Venom is good. I used to train. Used to fight in their shorts. Obviously, when I had to buy my own shorts, sort of thing. And when I heard the UFC were getting Venom instead of Reebok, that was music to my ears.
It's one of those ones where it's not just their technical equipment, as in like the gloves and shorts, gloves and shin pads, and that all fantastic. It's the gear, the quality of gear, the materials they use is fantastic, and also
it's nice
because it's a French brand and French.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
And they're quite cool. It's quite cool looking stuff. So they actually have a good eye.
Well, obviously I get the fight kit that when I fight in the UFC, obviously they give us the fight kit, which is now obviously all Venom. And even my mum said yesterday, she went, "That's a nice jumper." She thought it was mine, Prospect Apparel. I said, "No, this is actually a UFC one." But even the stuff you're wearing, a lot of MMA brands, I think when they do clothing, I'm like, I probably wouldn't wear that unless I was generally going. Whereas the Venom stuff you're wearing is nice.
So for me, this is now and then later on down the line, they're going to be sponsoring gyms. They're going to get re-kitted out, get the new canvas on the ring and the cage, and it's just other little stuff on new bags and stuff like that. So I'm really happy to be partnered up with them.
So they're taking over the MMA scene.
Yeah, 100%. Not just the MMA scene, just the combat sports. They're Muay Thai. I can't say. I say when I say
Muay Thai.
So they're massive. They outsell like Twins and they outsell Fairtex.
Yeah.
In those industries. So for me, I think it's the leading brand in MMA by far, and it's overtaking a lot of the other sports in the combat sports general. That's why it's good about them. They cover all aspects.
They must have some money behind them. Next thing I just want to plug while we're here, guys, 2 charities that I work with. Paul Strank Charitable Trust. They were my sponsors, a roofing firm, and they have actually got me on board now as a patron for their charity, which is, they work with children mainly, but there's a few charities that they work with, but a lot of the stuff is the hospice. They do a gala once a year, which you obviously came to, and they raise all the money for these kids. It's heartbreaking stories, and it's kind of bittersweet when you're working with a charity because you hear about all of the stories that you kind of wish you could ignore because they're heartbreaking. Some of the stuff that the parents obviously have to go through is horrible, but the blessing is being a part of it and making a slight difference, making more of all the awareness and stuff. It is pretty special. And then obviously we've got Power of One, which obviously, I love my dogs. And the Power of One, guys, is imagine a middleman, right? And what the Power of One do is they take all of the funds that people donate and they distribute them amongst all of the individual females out there that are working on their own to try and provide for dogs. So there's a woman the other day, she's from Thailand. I think they'll put her story up after this. And she's got a little moped and she goes around feeding dogs in Thailand. But as you can imagine, she can't really afford to do this. And they got some funds together. They bought her a new moped because they had a little side hut thing that is, on the side of the moped she drives around and she's got all the dog food and whatnot. So if you are looking at supporting any charities, guys, they are 2 very special to my heart. And I'm sure they would appreciate anything that comes their way. So the next thing that I am going to ask you, Brad, is obviously you are the loser of the lightsaber. So I've got...
Under what?
It's small. Size matters. Come on.
Hey,
so
not the king of the jungle.
we're always, every week we're going to do a slight challenge. And actually, on that note of challenges, I forgot to
the size of
order...
the hammer.
James,
the size of the nails, the
what
force of the hammer.
decibel was the Scotch bonnet or a jalapeno?
I think off the top of my head, it's about 30 to 40,000.
Now, what was the
Scoville's.
crisp that you told me to order and you would do
the Paki one. The Paki one is...
What's it called?
Paki.
Paki, okay.
P-A-Q. Don't worry, it's not.
If we said something else, then.
No,
And you got cancelled.
different. That's a different time.
Yeah,
We've passed that now.
so let's talk about the crisp that you're going to be doing.
I think.
Not
Am I
today.
doing it, am I?
Where, mate, you know me, I get punched in the head for a living, but unfortunately I forgot to order it. So this week we've got a bit more of a vanilla challenge for Brad.
Why is it? Where's your challenges?
I set the challenge, mate. Like, you can set me a challenge if you want.
I understand.
What challenge have you got?
That's
too late. We've already started.
I've got one. Oh, this is a good one.
Go on.
How many? We could do this together. How many closing line clips can you fit in your face?
You mean pegs?
The closing bags, yeah.
Who closing line? What did you say? Closing.
Pegs.
No, you
A peg?
Yeah, close pegs.
peg.
That's what we call them.
That's what I said. I said closing line peg.
Brad says something so weird. How'd you say defense?
Defense.
Defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Clothing line, peg things, pegs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
That
And
hard
how
though as
many-
well, isn't it?
How many can fit in
Well, it
But you've
depends
got
because you've
more-
got the
you've
plastic
got-
ones and you've got the proper old
But
school
the
like
reason-
metal ones.
You're going to
as well.
win that 100% though because your skin's all saggy and stuff compared to mine.
behaves?
Obviously, you know, you got about 20 years
We'll
of
see.
it.
We'll see.
Depends. Depends who's got the
But go on,
most
James,
Scoville.
what was the-
top lip?
Right, so jalapeno is about 38,000 Scovilles. The chip challenge
Yep.
is 1.7 million.
Okay, guys, so we are going to be... Go on, you can say
I was
another
going to
one.
say, because the I think the worst I've ever done was a thing called Regret, which was...
Do you regret?
I did, but that was 12 million. So that was gnarly. It's
How
like
are you not in hospital with that?
I don't know. I used to stream games online, and I lost a challenge once, and I had to drink an entire bottle of Trinidad Scorpion hot sauce, which was like about 700,000 Scovilles. And I did it live on stream. I had to drink the entire bottle.
Did you get good views for it?
What was I playing? It was either Apex or it might have been COD. It might have been. I cannot remember off the top of my head. But anyway, I drank
PC
a whole
does.
bottle, and it was the worst night I've ever had in my entire life.
I'm not surprised, mate.
Like
12 million.
the heat was bad.
And a jalapeno's
but it was just
30,000.
stomach. It was the way your stomach feels afterwards. It's just horrendous.
And how was it the next
Battery
morning?
acid. Oh, it was fine actually. I didn't have any of that, but I've never had that. Like
Maybe
I've-
because you've only just had one chip.
maybe.
It's just cemented in the...
But the chip is supposed to be gnarly because it's corn, it's dust, so it
Right.
like really seeps into it. So yeah, I mean, I'll
So
do
that
it.
will be James's challenge at some point, guys. So obviously, make sure you tune in, and we will see him. But we're going to write a waiver because I ain't getting responsible for any of that stuff.
Oh, don't worry about that.
It's even like the other day, the cameraman wanted me to give him a leg kick, and I just said,
Oh,
like,
really?
on camera, I just wanted to say, Ben, just to confirm for the camera, you want me to kick you in the leg? He's like, yep. And you're asking me to do about 70-80%. Because he was doing it for like a sponsored thing.
Hang on, was this a leg kick or a calf kick?
No, a leg kick
Oh,
in the
thank God, I
fight.
was
But
gonna
he's
say-
obviously
But
was...
still, even though they're worse.
Yeah, but as I say, 78% on a
the
calf
thing
kick
is,
is
it's-
worse.
When people do kick challenges, what happens is right.
You stand straight
You
as
stand
well.
straight, and if I had a bend in my leg, I could. It's like
Yeah.
see, you bend your leg.
Yeah.
And the problem for him as well, it was bad. I'm not going to upload it because he's going to do it, I think, for his sponsors. But as Barry said, Ben, pull your hands up because his hands were quite low. Obviously, you don't want to kick him in the hand. As he did it, I kicked him, so I don't think he even was ready for it. And, after
ow.
I gave him his phone, he was shaking, bless him, and everything. So, but yeah, so today, Brad's challenge is, I've never seen any man do this. So if he can do this today, I will do whatever challenge you set me. Can you down a can of Pepsi Max?
That's gonna be impossible though, right? Is
In one
anyone down
go.
a can?
Dunno.
You can't. You're just gonna burp.
I don't know. Just keep your lips on it. I don't know whether you should go quicker, whether you should just neck it.
No. I think you have to like.
But we're going to say the rules are as long as your lips are touching, you can, you know, so say for example, I'm drinking this, and you're like,
I don't like how all these challenges involve liquid around electrics. It's never a
Yeah.
good thing.
When does it start?
So
you
Venom
can start whenever you want. Do you think you are going to manage it?
No,
Okay, well, let's just see.
but I've managed more than you. If that would put that.
Never.
That's a challenge.
Oh, I've drunk half of mine.
Yeah, so you get one, and we'll see how much is left.
All right, what we'll do is after
Well,
this,
I've got my
whatever's
one
left,
here.
Whatever's left,
Right,
whatever's left, I'll go and
Oh,
pour in
you'll
this,
get
right? And then next week, I will do it. And whoever loses has to do another challenge.
This is
which
so
will-
scientific.
Yeah?
right.
Whenever you're ready.
Is there a time limit?
No, as long as the lips don't, as long as the lips
The
touch.
lips cannot leave the.
Go. Brad is our mate. He downs the drink in 8, 7. I wouldn't know whether to go slow. I've only ever done a pint challenge and that almost killed me.
Well, no, I kind of want to try it in mine in a second.
Oh my gosh, that was a good attempt.
Ooh, you were so close.
Do you know what I can't? Do you know, I reckon I can do it. Do you know what I can't? I can't breathe out my nose. So I need my mouth to breathe.
That is a good go. Well done, son. For those obviously that can't feel it, there's probably
Sipping.
there's probably another sip.
No, I'll show you how much is left in it.
So how are you going to measure? How are you going to measure in there?
Oh, he's never beaten that. He has to think nothing to beat it.
How do you feel now?
No, the thing is this, look, because look, if people don't know, he's like, I can't breathe out my nose. So me doing this, I'm just covering my mouth the whole time. So technically, I need to go quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to beverage.
It would be easier if you had it in a glass, which you did ask me before.
Oh, no,
but-
you ever done this where you went out a straw? You seen the straw ones?
Yeah, Storpedo, isn't it?
Yeah, when you straw people.
But I used to do that with a Smirnoff, and supposedly
Smirnoff,
it got
yeah.
you drunk quicker than...
No, you just let you down it. You same thing, you can't
Yeah,
down
but
as well
apparently
because
there
of
was scientific
Yeah.
facts that my mates told me. It oxygenates, or there's something... Yeah, it probably is bullshit.
It just
but
gets you drunk.
There would be
quicker
me and my
'cause you
mates
drink-
before clubbing with a straw gun.
I used to drink turbo shandies. You know what that is?
Oh my god.
It's half a pint of beer and a Smirnoff Ice. So it's
Oh, okay, yeah,
so,
yeah.
So it's like a shandy, but both parts
Yeah.
are alcohol.
But the thing was, is back in the day, mates used to try and like have a pop at me and a bit of banter because I liked drinking Smirnoff Ice and WKDs. Oh, you know, we're on beer
Oh,
and that.
hooch.
But
The young
the
people.
alcohol percentage is the same.
Yeah, it's
so
exactly
I'm like,
the same.
you
And
lot
it
don't
tastes
even-
nice.
Yeah,
That's
I'm like,
the
half
thing.
of you don't actually like the beer you're drinking. You're
Nope.
just doing it because you look hard. Like we're talking when I was like
Stella's-
18. Yeah, 18
Is
in the
Stella
pub.
going on?
Unfortunately.
But you know, but can you get Stella? You can't get Stella in pubs much, no?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can.
Stella's everywhere.
There was a time where there was a lot of, well, in Birmingham where I'm from, where a lot of places wouldn't serve it just because the amount of trouble it would bring.
Oh,
Oh,
Worth
no,
beater.
Call
it worth beater,
Yeah.
In my place, a snake bite and black got banned. You couldn't order.
See, that used to be my drink as well.
That would be. What is it? Cider
It's cider,
black
beer, and blackcurrant.
Because Stella's
Delicious.
more alcohol percentage, right?
Or you
5%,
had diesel, which instead of the lager, so it's cider, Guinness, and blackcurrant.
Yes, all those sort of things. We used to do turbo shandies, and that they all got banned. You weren't allowed. So what I used to do, because I was a rebel, can I have a pint of beer, please, and a spare glass, and I pour half and half, and I get 2 Smirnoffs. I just make my own. They can't. They
I'll
weren't.
be for thinking.
They weren't allowed to make it for
No.
you, but I could make it myself.
But there was some places, I think it was the Walkabout bar. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember
the Australian
Walkabout.
bar.
Yeah, yeah.
You used to get it on tap, so they'd have snakebite on tap.
Oh, really?
So you just basically, it would come out at once, and then you just top it with whatever. But yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a Stella man. You know, not if a name's got worth beater. That's not for me. Okay, so guys, let's wrap this up. We've got a few more questions, and it's a pretty easy one. You know, it's what are the predictions for the upcoming fights? We have got Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilya Chapora. James, you start.
It's a tough one.
Don't overthink it.
I think Tapora.
I agree with that.
I think he'll take that. To be honest with you.
The reason I think that is because I think every dominant champion, there's going to be a fall.
Yes.
And I just think he's been champion for so long that now maybe is the time. And that's not even thinking about, obviously, the loss that he's just had. And that obviously is going to do stuff to you. You know, that wasn't that long ago and he got pretty badly knocked out.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And Ilya Chapora hits hard, right? What do you
For
think?
me,
guys?
it's like one of those ones where if you went pre-knockout for Volk, even if he lost that fight to the decision, I'd have backed him. But I think the mindset of a fighter is one of the biggest tools of a fight, and I think.
I think Volk's mindset will still be there. I just think.
No, I don't know, because he has a trouble. He's one of those people. If he doesn't have a fight, he goes off the rails.
Right.
So I think his mind plays a massive tool to his
Yeah.
persona and how he fights, which has put him done so well for a long time. So it's one of those things. He's had such a great mind because it was working for him for a long time, and there's been a little bit of like seeds of doubt now. Yeah, and I'm right. This could be the.
So you're going.
I
think if he fought him, say like after the Ortega fight, the Volcat, that was kind of like the peak where his mind like beats the odds.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I agree. I think there's enough doubt in there that he really second guesses himself.
Honestly, I mean, obviously, it's a big task going up from that class to go to fight Islam Makhachev. You know, obviously, first fight as well. He went into that fight with that mindset, right? And then the rematch, kind of the way it happened. Yeah, you know, I don't think it was
Okay.
Nice move.
Next one, we're going to go Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera. James, you start.
I don't know. I mean, Cheeto's got they fought before, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Cheeto won.
But supposedly O'Malley busted
Broke
his ankle
wasn't it?
or whatever, yeah.
Ligaments.
So we've got win versus excuses. I don't know. It's against a win, but I think Cheeto will do it again. Actually,
You do?
I do.
I don't.
No, I've got to say,
I
I'm
would
think
actually
Sean.
say I thought Cheetah, don't get me wrong, but like it's weird. I've backed against him against so many people. People like Frankie Edgar, Dominic Cruz, so many other people that he doesn't have very good wrestling, right? And that's what he doesn't have.
Which is why I think Sean O'Malley's happy for this fight.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Also, he doesn't have good wrestling, so he gets out wrestled by a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then somehow
Like they both avoided Marab.
He's
You know what I mean?
100%. It's like one of those ones where it's like he loses the fight and then he wins. That mean, he would not win many decisions in my eyes.
He's a come from behind kind of a fighter.
He just pulls out the bag. And I honestly think O'Malley is a different level of striker, even though Chito Vera is a good striker.
So, Brad, finish what you were saying. With your mouth full.
I'll down that.
He chokes live on camera.
So, going back to Chito Vera, for me, he's one of those ones where he's losing a fight but wins. So, I bet against that man so many times. It's going to be hard. I would not bet on that fight, in my eyes. If I was a betting man, I would avoid that fight. I honestly think Chito Vera, has the chance, but I think...
You're swaying. It sounds like you're swaying to O'Malley.
No, O'Malley, in my eyes, O'Malley knocks him out. But Chito Vera,
It's a fight.
Vera.
It's MMA,
Chito-
right?
If anyone
Chito
can
Vera.
beat him, it's Cheeto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or Marab, I think Marab would smash.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
But I
stylistic.
think as a come behind.
I'm going to go with O'Malley. I think O'Malley's going to do it. And then the last one is the big one, McGregor versus Chandler. James, who have you got?
I kind of don't want either of them, to be honest with you. I think so much has gone on and so much has led up to it. Like I'm kind of over the fight already before it's even come about. I think it depends on which McGregor shows up, and at this rate, there could be 15 different dudes that show up on that night.
Yeah.
But then again, McGregor has everything to stop Chandler, but I don't know. I kind of think Chandler might, to be honest with you. Stylistically and kind of skill set wise, no. I think both of them in their prime, no chance. But
I think Chandler's going to do it. But I
think he
really
will.
want McGregor to do it. Only reason being is because he does bring more eyes to the sport.
yes,
And I'm not really a McGregor fan anymore, but I was back in the day.
yes, me too.
And obviously, if Chandler beats him, to me, he's done. It's time to call
Oh,
it.
100%.
To call it quits. And if he doesn't call it quits, that's absolutely fine. But I don't think anyone's going to really have that buzz anymore.
I think he'll always carry that buzz around him. Yeah, he'll always have that buzz.
I think he'll always have
Obviously,
eyes on
But
it.
the comeback story,
Yes.
that's gone.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gone.
I mean, title aspirations.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beats Chandler. He could then be saying, "I'm going for a title shot." But he gets beat by Chandler. I can't see that. For me, it's really hard because I think Chandler gets hit quite a bit, and
Yes.
he's a bit of a tough guy and stays there. And McGregor can easily knock Chandler out. in my eyes.
Especially at the weight as well.
Yeah.
So who do you think?
Yeah. So on the feet, I think if it stays on the feet, McGregor all day long, and it's also for me also McGregor's a front runner, so it's going to be a 5-round fight, right? So I think if Chandler gets past the first two, he'll take over from there on, and he wins. It's one of the ones. The longer the fight goes on, Chandler's chances of winning go higher, go up. Where more the fight goes on, Conor diminishes. My honest thing about this fight though is still not happening, is it? What is big?
It's all talk. They've exchanged it online.
Yeah,
and-
it's
A lot of people are saying for UFC 300.
Yeah, but it's still not there. Apparently, I've also heard that Conor McGregor might be fighting Nick Diaz again on the UFC 300.
Yeah, that's been mentioned as well.
Nick or Nate?
Nick.
Oh.
No, sorry, Nate.
Yeah,
Nate.
Nate.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Sorry, Nate,
So that will be the.
trilogy.
No, they've had.
They've had two.
Yeah, they've had two.
Have they?
It's Poirier that he's had the three with.
Yeah. He's had two. Nick,
Yeah.
Nate beat him the first time, and then he beat
Then,
Nate.
yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
But it was a bit like, did you beat Nate? You know, it's quite close.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Closer
So-
than he thought.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't.
That's the thing. So, like, for me, with that still up in the air again now, what?
Yeah.
Okay, my next question to you that has not been asked: who would you rather see him fight, Nate again or Chandler?
Chandler. Or the only reason I'd say Nate
Nate-
is I want Nate to earn loads of money.
Nate for me. I reckon Nate. I find it more interesting Nate versus. And this could also be another reason why that fight hasn't really materialised, Chandler versus McGregor, because no one's talking about as much. No one cares.
That's
about
why
that
I
as much.
want them to fight, 'cause I just want to get it over and done with kind of thing.
Nate
Yeah.
Diaz versus McGregor. I'm like, oh, yeah.
But you've got the history, you know what that's like. You know that they both talk shit. You know
But
that
isn't
they're
Nate
both
being offered
entertaining.
like 15 mil to box now? And it's
something like that?
Yeah. Guys, that is a wrap. We are done. Another episode. And make sure to tune in. Make sure to join the Prospect Academy if you want to ask the Q&As, guys, in the forums. You know, we ask what questions you want to ask, want to see, things you want to talk about.
I think when we wrap things up, you should end the podcast with a little rap.
Okay, I'll come to that. And obviously, guys, come and learn to train with myself, Brad, my whole coaching team. You know, we've set it up so that people all around the world can, you know, train with us, whether they live too far from a gym, whether they can't afford it. Whether they're just maybe lacking confidence, you know, as James said about his son Josh earlier, you know, he didn't want to get into training. Then he started, he loved it. So, you know, if maybe they don't want to step foot in the gym, come train with us online. Hopefully we can help and build their confidence so that they can step foot in the gym. Until next time, peace.
Where's your rap?
Oh yeah. Give me a beatbox then. Okay guys, that's another week done. Come against me, yeah. Come on, yeah. I'll stick to fighting.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.